Live from our Tasmanian headquarters, this is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening everyone, those stories shortly, but first tonight, Tasmania Police and Emergency Services are currently working to free a man after he was pinned under a truck at Buckland. It's understood the vehicle rolled onto the elderly male. His injuries are yet to be detailed. Crews are currently attempting to lift the truck off the male. In the day's other news, Tasmania is tonight bracing for another onslaught of wild weather after damaging winds pulled roofs off homes early this morning. 2 fishermen were stranded after their vessel ran aground near Research Bay, with emergency crews kept busy across the day.
The damage of last night's wild weather laid bare this morning, this home in Kingston losing its top story, with those inside making a lucky escape.
Most of us just sleeping and heard the noise, phone. I think some things drop, but actually that thing drops. It's terrible.
A noise so loud neighbours feared for their own homes, rushing outside at 4 a.m. to inspect the wreckage.
I didn't know what it was. I ran out the back. I didn't realise that the roof had lifted off and blown across a couple of streets.
One woman suffering a minor glass cut on her leg despite walls crumbling around her.
I'm lucky, I think.
Just one of more than 40 emergency weather call-outs. A 12-metre cray boat was pushed onto rocks by heavy seas at Fisher Point near Research Bay. Several police vessels and 2 rescue helicopters, one from interstate, coming to the aid of the 2 fishermen.
The weather was blowing hard from the north at up to 50 knots and seas 1 to 2 metres, and unfortunately that's where the boat still is.
The men were okay and taken to safety. Not the only boat in strife though. This yacht resting on rocks at Tranmere after breaking from its moorings in winds of more than 100 kilometres an hour around Hobart. Trampolines traversing backyards, slippery road conditions causing chaos, with trees leaving debris and widespread power outages.
We're only just trying to tidy up crews by about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and they've just been going constantly now for the last 7 hours.
The Weather Bureau says 2 cold fronts have brought the damaging winds, with round 2 expected tonight.
We're going to almost see exactly the same sort of situation that happened last night happen again tonight, with those strong winds developing again overnight tonight, with gusts up to about 100 kilometres an hour and even up to 120 kilometres an hour again in exposed places.
Those caught out by the wild weather, a reminder to batten down the hatches. Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
Police are investigating the assault of a 48-year-old woman at Goodwood yesterday. Officers were called to Jep Parade around 3:30 p.m, where she was attacked before the offender ran off with her handbag. He remains on the run tonight, with police describing him as being in his 20s, with brown hair, wearing a green hooded jumper, jeans and a blue cap. The woman was shaken but did not suffer any physical injuries. Police are asking anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers. Questions are being raised about whether Lions Liberal MHA Riemann Hidding will see out his full 4-year term. The current Police and Infrastructure Minister says he no longer wants a ministerial portfolio and has instead nominated himself to take on the role of Speaker in Tasmania's new Parliament.
A re-elected Liberal member electing to not make himself available for a ministerial portfolio.
Leave at the top of my game, which gives me some pleasure. But nominate myself for the position of Speaker in this next 4 years of a Hodgman majority government.
The 65-year-old denies he's taking a step down or is heading towards an early retirement.
Before the last election I said this is the last one. At this stage that's still how I feel. The fact is my commitment is for 4 years and just like anyone else they're looking forward to completing all of those years.
Clearly they are moving him out as he edges towards his inevitable retirement. I think looking at the media we've seen in the last couple of days, it's clear that this government, we're just hell-bent on winning government for the sake of winning government, and keeping Reen and his name recognition was seriously part of that.
Mr Hidding's Lions colleague Mark Shelton is the current Speaker of the Lower House. He was sworn into the role last October, but has so far made no indication of whether he will nominate for the position again.
He accepts, like everybody does in the team, that this is the one period in a 4-year cycle where all jobs are declared vacant. They're all there for the Premier to fill the positions.
Will Hodgman will call for Speaker nominations at a Liberal Party meeting tomorrow. He is then expected to announce his new cabinet within days.
The Premier's indicated that he's very pleased with my nomination.
It is obviously untenable for him to remain as a minister, particularly after being discovered to have made a deal without the knowledge of the Tasmanian people on gun law reform.
Former Liberal MHA Dr Frank Medill, who was also a former Speaker, supports Mr Hidding's move and says given the government and opposition now have the same numbers on the floor, the Speaker will often be called on to make a casting vote.
He's the most experienced person in the Parliament. He's highly respected. When the numbers are as close as they are in this Parliament, then the Speaker has to be impartial first of all, but of course when it comes to the vote he has an obligation to his party. This is a difficult position and I'm sure it's one that Reen will handle.
Monika Dadson at Southern Cross News.
Welcome back. A Hobart artist has taken out not only the $3,000 People's Choice Award, but also the Children's Choice at this year's Glover Prize. The 15th annual landscape art exhibition concluded today with more than 10,000 people immersing themselves in the work.
This is the work by Hobart artist Nicholas Blowers that captured the attention of the people.
I first told him that he'd won the People's Choice Award and he said, "Oh, I didn't think the people liked me." And I said, "Nicholas, the people love you." And it turns out the children love him too, so he was very thrilled.
Blowers' oil-on canvas painting depicts the West Coast Savage River. All up, 7,000 people voted in the People's Choice Award, selecting between the 42 Glover Prize finalist works.
The winner, Nicholas Blowers, received close to 23% of the vote, so it was an overwhelming vote for his artwork.
Well, there's some really beautiful work. I love the colour. We're blow-ins from Sydney, so it was very nice to find that it was still open this weekend.
The Glover Prize is not only one of the most prestigious landscape art awards in the country, it's also about inspiring the next generation.
There have been more school children that have come out this year, and that's something we'd like to encourage and continue, but the general overall numbers have been the same as last year.
18 of the finalist works, including the main Glover Prize winning painting, sold. Tonight, as the Glover concludes for another year, the landscapes will all be packed away, but organisers are already preparing for another influx of entries next year.
This year we received 405 entries, which is up by 20% on last year. The thing has grown exponentially over the years and we'd like to see it grow some more.
Monika Dadson at Southern Cross News.
New research is revealing many Tasmanians are reluctant to use public transport. A new study by the University of Tasmania found infrequency and timetabling issues are deterring people from using buses. Around 90% of people involved in the survey had driver's licences, with almost all of them having access to a car. The research is hoping to assist in easing traffic congestion. It's recommending improvements such as real-time bus information, incentive schemes and bus-only lanes.
Around 50 karate students from dojos around Tasmania and Victoria have battled it out for the annual state championships in Newtown today.
There's technically 6 criteria, so you've got to meet all of those to score. You've got target areas, you've got to be convincing, you've got to have distance, good timing.
Beachy doing enough to impress the judges, claiming the women's state title under difficult circumstances.
2 big blood blisters on the balls of my feet as well as a sprained ankle, so pretty hard on the feet with hard slippery rubber mats.
Competitors also using today's event as a warm-up for the National Championships in Queensland beginning on August 3, with around 500 set to fight it out over 2 days of competition.
Good evening. Hobart 17 today, Launceston 20, Burnie 19, Devonport 21. Well, yesterday's top temps were up to 7 degrees higher than average. Today's top temps were 6 degrees below average. Lowhead took the state's top with 21 today, Friendly Beaches and St Helens with Wynyard on 19, Bushy Park and King Island 18, Strawn 17, Maria Island and Grove on 16, and the state's low was a 1 overnight at Liaweenie. We had 48 mil of rain recorded today. It was the highest and it happened near Liaweenie on the Great Lakes. A significant cold front crossed the state today, bringing mid-level cloud, widespread rainfall and damaging winds with isolated thunderstorms. Some scattered low-level convective cloud is still sitting over most of the state, with some small active storms over Flinders Island and the east of Launceston. On the wider scope, another cold front can be seen approaching Tasmania from the west, and a low pressure system is in the bite. Tropical cyclone Marcus is over the North Kimberley coast. Tomorrow, that second cold front will cross Tasmania in the morning before moving towards the Tasman in the evening. A surface trough will venture from the Tasman Sea through to the top end and on the West Australian coast as well. On the water, northwesterly winds to 40 knots and seas about the west and south to 8 metres. A statewide severe weather warning is still current, with the Bass Strait Islands on a damaging wind warning. A gale warning current for all coastal waters, a strong wind warning current for the southeast inshore waters, and a small craft wind alert current for the Central Plateau and southwest lakes. Tomorrow we can expect statewide showers, with Hobart on 18, Ouse and Dover 17, Launceston 20, Devonport 19, Scottsdale 18, Burnie 19, Strong will need to rug up for a 16 and Stanley 18, and warmer in St Helens with 20, Swansea 21 and Ross 19. The UV is still quite high with an average of 7. Looking ahead for the next 3 days, Tuesday will see showers about the west and south, contracting south during the afternoon. Wednesday, light showers for the north and east coast, partly cloudy elsewhere. And Thursday, showers again for the north and east and looking cloudy elsewhere. Launceston hitting 20 there by Thursday. Lapping the map tomorrow, Perth, sunny 32 tomorrow. Adelaide, possible showers 23. Sydney, sunny and 30. Melbourne, late showers 25.
That's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rachel Williams. Good night.